Burlington Mayor Marianne Meed Ward recently returned from Helsinki, Finland, a trip that was organized by 880 Cities in conjunction with the Canadian Institute of Health Research. And it was all about how to plan and build cities that promote health in all aspects, physical, social, and of course, mental health. I asked the mayor for a couple examples of ideas she was exposed to while on the trip.
There's some great little tidbits I can share with you. So one is that sauna, taking a sauna, they call it sauna, has been recognized as a cultural heritage practice by the United Nations to promote health. So there you go. If you go in a sauna, you're doing something culturally significant for your health. But the other piece was how they do their social housing, and they really think about the end person in mind. So they have many housing projects where they mix incomes. It's a really great model that we need to deploy. But they had one building where they noticed that their creative class and their musicians in particular were having trouble finding housing. So they built a building that is about 75% market rate, but 25% was set aside for rock musicians. There's a sound studio for practicing and a performance space in the ground floor. So there you go. That's how you build cities with the end user and people in mind. And they had a need for housing for rock musicians.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, Burlington's known for their rock musicians.
There you go.
The Finger 11s of the world, we're going back to the Spoons, so you're already a bit of a breeding ground in Southern Ontario, so just foster that.
There you go.
All right. Well, now that you are back, one thing we didn't get to talk about was last week, Burlington City Council approved an industrial property tax payment deferral program to protect local businesses. Okay, so let's get down to this. What's the motivation behind this? What type of companies qualify? And, deferral is listed, but how long is the deferral?
This is a 6-month property tax deferral, so you don't have to pay, and we're not going to charge you our usual interest and penalties because people can already defer their taxes. We're just going to collect interest and penalties on it. So we've deferred that. And this has really come out of conversations with our businesses, particularly in the manufacturing and steel industries that are on the front lines of the tariff trade war right now. And what we heard from them, including through the Mayor's Tariff Task Force and the Chamber of Commerce, is that right now, because of the tariffs, they have to absorb a lot of these costs. They can pass on some, but not all, to the end user. And so this is cash out of pocket that they didn't expect. So cash flow has become an issue. We heard that loud and clear. And so they have said anything that you can defer for us, just to let us get through this while negotiations are underway. Maybe there'll be a rollback. There's lots of, hope that some of the conversations, now that we've got our federal government in place, that this will go away. But they just need an opportunity to get through this period of time. So it's only for the industrial class, manufacturing, really intended to be targeted to those people who need it most.
All right, and finally, Burlington is looking to put in place the city's culture plan. I read this is from 2026 to 2036, so we're looking at planning ahead a decade here. There's a survey, there's workshops, there's pop-ups. Why such a focus on this right now, and what role can residents play?
Well, we have a lot of culture happening in the city and a lot of organizations that are involved in delivering culture, whether it's the art gallery or nonprofit organizations of people, residents that have come forward, fine arts associations, some of our guilds. You've got the Burlington Performing Arts Center, clearly. So there's all these groups, and then we have the Sound of Music Festival. And so this is an opportunity to bring it all together and say, look, we have all this wonderful stuff going on already. How do we move forward in a way that we can kind of work together, leverage each other, and build on what we have and make it even better? And so that it is really about harnessing the incredible energy we have and seeing where we can enhance it or do more in that space. And again, going back to my trip to Helsinki, coming back and they put a huge focus on culture. They see that as key to mental health, to social inclusion, and provide space for it and support it. And as I said, that now taking a sauna is a cultural practice. So it can mean a lot of things. And I think that's what's really important about all this is what do you like? What do you define culture as? It can, of course, be the creative arts or fine arts or sculpture or music, but it can be other things too. So let's think big about what we have here in Burlington and promote that. So really looking forward to hearing from the community on this.